was started by my Uncle Paul back in 1994, and he grew the business to 4 different locations.
From the very first week, we had a line out the door until 3 in the morning. Iguanas was the first business in downtown San Jose to stay open till 3 in the morning. And I knew that young people coming out of clubs needed a place to eat, and a cool place at that. So Iguanas fit that.
My first memory of working at the restaurant, our Uncle Paul had come over to our house, asked my mom and dad if they wouldn't mind if we, did a little weekend shift. And he asked us, and we said, sure, sounds great. We were 11 or 12. Our job was to wipe down the bases of the tables and the legs of the chairs.
I mean, I'm not an easy boss. So if they were cleaning tables, they had to clean them right and they had to clean them hard. And then if they swept, they had to do a good job. And they did that for weekends and so forth, and they got paid, I think, sometimes.
He ran it for about 4 years and grew it. I think he wanted to get into some different industries and pursue some other passion projects. So he ended up passing it on to my mom and dad, I believe in '98.
Jimmy, who's now the CEO of the company, he had expressed a real interest early on that he wanted to be part of the business. And one day when he was 15, 16 years old, he told me he was done with high school. And I said, what are you talking about, done with high school? He says, yeah, Dad, I've learned everything I needed to learn, and I want to go ahead and test out. And I said, you're crazy.
I decided as a freshman that I wanted to test out and be involved in the business, and it was a pretty easy decision. I love learning, and that's what I love learning, but I don't excel well in the environment that high school had, and decided that at that point I had, all the knowledge I needed and from high school, that, I would be better off moving into something where, I could really learn some great life and business skills.
Yeah, he came alongside of me. He already knew how to work the cash register, but he also learned the back of the house, how to roll the burritos. He learned the kitchen, how to do some of the cooking, the prepping. He learned all the office work, how to balance the books, how to do payroll. He was my office partner, and we did that for years.
Jimmy's very introverted. He's kind of like shy, but when he needs to be, he'll be like open and out for.
Jimmy is very calculated, thoughtful, logical. He's an extremely hard worker, and I wouldn't consider him a risk taker, but I think when he was 16 years old and decided he didn't want to do high school anymore, and that it wasn't the thing for him, and to, drop everything and come and learn everything about the business. I think that was a real risk that he took, and he had a major plan, when he did that. And he's executing it. It's happening, like right now.
So right now we have 5 stores. We have 2 locations in the SAP as well. So we've grown to that size over the past 10 years, and at this point we have about somewhere between 80 and 90 employees that work for us. So that's quite a few people, and honestly it kind of blows my mind, when I look back, remembering when it was only 4 of us working here, working all the hours. And it blows my mind to think that at this point we're at that many employees. It's still kind of hard to wrap your head around.
There's so many Mexican restaurants, well, any type of restaurant you could go to, but what definitely makes us unique is our special touch that we put.
When people eat food from Iguanas are actually coming from her heart. I've been eating her food for a long, long time. I never get tired of it because love is always put into her food. I call her a food genius because she has a very sensitive palate. Sometimes when we go to another restaurant, I'll see her trying to figure out what's in the food, and she can actually pick out the actual spices that are in the food.
I love cooking. I mean, that's just been a big part of my life. You know, I saw my mom in the kitchen, my mother-in-law. One of the first things that I did when we became engaged was set up some time with his mom to have her teach me to prepare his favorite meals. So that was important. And it was a good basis for Iguanas. It definitely wasn't something that I had planned on doing, but you know, sometimes you get these opportunities in life, and we took it. So I was forced to be in the kitchen, and I love it.
Food of Iguanas is all mom's recipes. A favorite is the best burrito. I get a lot of people ordering that all the time. Instead of just having one tortilla, you have a nacho cheese quesadilla and then fries inside with meat, guac, sour cream. So it's basically nacho cheese quesadilla with nacho fries inside the burrito.
One of our biggest hits is the nacho fries, which is French fries, of course, covered with nacho cheese and or jack cheese. You could do both, cheese swap. And then you pick your choice of meat: carne asada, pollo asado, chile verde, carnitas, carne molida, al pastor, which is one of my favorites. You throw that meat on there and it comes with sour cream and guac, and it's pretty incredible.
So much that goes on behind the scenes, what it takes to create the food, what it takes to put on new menu items, what it takes to essentially run the business. There's so much that goes on. We truly care about everyone that walks through our doors. We just want everyone to be treated like we would like to be treated, like family. So I think that's what definitely makes us unique.
Yes, my beautiful. Oh yeah. So check this out, Lizzie. So this is Lizzie when Jimmy was in the womb, right? And there is 330 South 3rd Street. Isn't that cool? Wow. Little did we know that one day we would have the business and the kids would own the building.
Yes. Good. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. See you, man. What's happening?
No, we're just hanging out, getting ready to get to 2.
Oh, are you?
That's what we're getting.
Right here?
Yeah.
Nope. I love that.
Do you want one too?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I'm in. Sign me up. That's so good.
You have one tattoo, right?
I have 2.
The paw? Yeah, I know you got the paw.
The paw and the one on the back I got with Rob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were so fratty.
You guys have matching backpacks?
we totally did get matching back tats. I'm due for like 13. I'm so ready. It's been like 10 years.
Jim and Sam have like a couple matching tattoos.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
That's what bros do.
Maybe even smaller.
The house itself isn't, just a building to us. It's more a symbol of our hard work and persevering through a lot of different difficult times. Like I said, at one point we were in a dispute with the landlord where, we were kicked out. The words out of his mouth were, "Get the fuck out." I mean, we had a couple days notice, but we had to vacate at a certain date, so we closed at midnight, and we saved 24 hours so that we could disassemble the restaurant, pack everything up, and leave. So we worked for 24 hours straight, and it also just kind of reminds me of how blessed we are as a family to have each other's backs. And I know that my brothers and sisters and parents and uncle are always there to help support or help out in any way they can. So to me, it's not just a building, it's more than that. That's why I got the tattoo. And I got it right on my arm too, because you can see it every day, and it reminds you kind of where you came from and where you're at, and to also cherish the things you have.
To see how things have worked out for the family is so cool. My wife and I have purposed to really invest in our kids in every way we can, and the payback that we've received is 100-fold from the great relationships that we have with our kids, the great relationship that the kids have with each other, the fact that we can work together as a family is really cool too. Discipline is key to everything. When the boys played sports, I made them be disciplined on the field. When they played music, disciplined. Practice 4 or 5 hours a day. For me, my yes is yes, my no is no, and there's never maybe. And so, because there's never maybe with me, everything is pretty clear, black and white. Either you're gonna do it or you're not. So when my son Dusty wanted to play, I said either you're gonna do it or you're not. And if you do, this is what's gonna be required. And I don't know if you believe me or not, but I told him to go talk to his brother Sammy, because my son Sammy would play his guitar until his fingers bled. I would play my trombone till my lips bled, because that's what it took. It takes a lot of work.
As a whole, I'd say the entire Orozco family, extended family included, hard work ethic, strong work ethic is something that we all really treasure. Ain't no thing for us to put in a good 18, 20-hour day. That's nothing. We do it all the time. We've done that for months at a time. Whatever it takes. That kind of a obsessive and intense work ethic we have, I've been able to utilize at the gym. Towards the end of my musician career, you're up late, you're eating crazy, you're drinking beers when you shouldn't be. I put on a bunch of weight. I grew up an athlete, put on a bunch of weight, probably close to 100 pounds. Let's call it 100 pounds. About 2 years ago, I walked into One Republic Fitness and met Jovan. He gave me the tools to drop my weight and to get stronger. With him and Fiona, I was able to do that. So our work ethic is really translated into me being able to be successful in my fitness journey.
Push, breathe.
So I don't actually think this looks cool. My son Rocky's been asking for a whole year to dye his hair. And he's like, no, you're too young. Finally this year we said, all right, you can get your hair dyed. Got him all the gear. When it came time to do it, he chickened out. I'm like, come on, man, you've been asking the whole time. He's like, I'll only do it if you do it, Dad. It's like, I'm a little old for frosted tips, man. That was cool when I was 15. He's like, no, please, Dad, I'll only do it if you do it. So I said, sure, I'll only do it if your brother Benny does it, who's 4. So all 3 of us did it. Now we all have frosted tips. Except I'm the only one who looks like an asshole.
I think it looks good.
You know why, bro? You think it looks good because we're the same age and it was cool when we were kids.
Oh, let me scooch over.
Know what you working with.
I know, right?
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. I think that's all the city. Yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about the city. I mean, I guess if I could talk about the people in the city. Her and I, we both grew up in the restaurant, and so, you know, my parents made us step out of our comfort zone at like, I don't know what, 14 for both of us? 14? Yeah, it was about 14 for both of us. So, you know, just being exposed to so many different people coming in and, you know, learning how to serve, I think everybody is just a really humbling experience.
Definitely.
I love meeting new people, and, you know, you get a quick moment to interact with somebody and, you know,
Make their day, hopefully.
Yeah. Make their day, hopefully.
You try to.
Here we are at our favorite coffee spot. Yeah. Phil's, this place has been here for a really long time. I think this is like a San Jose staple, especially for like all the college kids and even just the people that work in the area. Their coffee is like top notch.
I think one thing that's unique about San Jose is that you have really vibrant parts of the city that are spread out in different pockets that, like a lot of places you go and there's one hub and that's it. That's where everything is, and everything surrounds it is a suburb. But here, I mean, we have a good downtown, but like you go to the east side and there's Little Saigon, there's Story and King, there's Alum Rock, there's McLaughlin, there's all kinds of different neighborhoods and areas that have their own flavor, their own feel.
I love San Jose. I love, you know, that it's a little bit spread out. It's a melting pot. I mean, I have met so many amazing people here. There's a couple places that I like to go. One of them is going to be for sure San Pedro Square Market. It has some history, that building. It's really awesome. Great vibes.
What I love about San Jose is, you know, our family has a real deep history with this city, and a lot of us, like even growing up, my parents, my uncle, my grandparents, actually my uncles, aunts, a lot of them lived in downtown San Jose, the neighborhood. So growing up, everybody was kind of always just a couple blocks from each other. We could drive down the street, 5 blocks down the street, and go see my grandma and grandpa, or even when me and my brother bought our first duplex, it was across the street from my parents' house, so we could walk across the street. My uncle lives on, I've got uncles on 18th Street, I've got my cousin on 13th, I've got a cousin on 17th Street. And what I love about it is that I'm in such close proximity to so many people I care about. And that's where my love for this city comes from particularly. When you walk into one of the stores, what you see is a culmination of thousands of hours of hard work, years and years of hard work and passion and time and love we put into the business. And the more you grow, it feels like it's hard. It gets harder for the customer to kind of see that kind of family values we have. But what I'd like people to know is, behind this business, obviously we're not perfect and we're still growing, but behind this business is, a family that has incredibly strong values, who works hard. Like I said, we're all about people. We're all about our employees. The way we conduct business is incredibly important to us. But we are 100% a family-owned and run company.